Hey everybody, it's Vanessa, the Crafty Gemini. Welcome to WIP Wednesday, episode number 94, which is our weekly live show here where I'm usually talking something having to do with some type of crafts, whether it's sewing, quilting, demos, new products, new classes, sales, all that kind of stuff. And we're usually also answering some of your pre-submitted questions. For those of you that are tuning in new, there is a link in the video description box if you're watching on YouTube or in the caption that you can click on if you have a question that you'd like to submit for me to answer in a future episode of WIP Wednesday, okay? Today, we're just coming back from a retreat. I lost my voice last week because I was talking, laughing, and teaching the entire weekend all the way till the Monday of last week. And so when it came time to Wednesday, I could barely talk. So I was like, I'm just gonna rest my voice and then we'll resume WIP Wednesdays today, which is the next week, okay? So let's make sure that all the technology stuff is working. Let's pop into the chat real quick, say hi to some friends. I see Julie from Scotland is in the house. Awesome. Hi, Julie. Deborah from Port St. Lucie, which is south of us. I'm coming to y'all from North Central Florida, which is where we live here in my home crafting studio. Jackie B says, good afternoon. Can hear you loud and clear. Awesome. Hey, Jackie. Hi, Janelle. We got Debbie in the house. Awesome, saying finally caught a live episode. Great. Okay. Hey, Claudia. All right, we got a bunch of friends on here. Good. So y'all can see me and hear me good. And we are going to go ahead and get started. So if you get anything, any value or any new tips and stuff from this video, make sure that you hit it with the thumbs up, both on Facebook or on YouTube. And feel free to share it with your friends. Let them know that we're here every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll give everybody my over-the-shoulder camera shot here because I want to talk about this first since we're almost sold out. This is, if you recall, and if first of all, if you're on my email newsletter list, you probably already seen this in a couple different emails and or on Instagram or on Facebook, which you can find me on both platforms under Crafty Gemini, just little tidbits there so you know where you can find me. Well, we recently started offering these half-yard bundles of 5 different fabrics that all coordinate, they go well together, and so they're 5 half yards, so you're getting a total of 2.5 yards, and we're selling them at a discounted price. Right now, all the bundles have been art gallery fabrics, which you can go back and watch the last WIP Wednesday episode that we did right before my birthday a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about the quality of the fabric and sharing some things with you. So if you're not familiar with premium cotton or specifically art gallery fabrics, which is considered a designer quality quilting cotton, you can use it not just for quilts, obviously, but we often use them for home decor, our pillowcases, our bags, our wallets, all kinds of fun organizer projects and things like that. So we have sold out. We've done 3 bundles, and when we sell out of each bundle, that's it. We're not bringing it back, okay? So this is bundle number 4, and we're almost sold out. So I'm going to talk about this first because I don't want to talk about it after it sells out. So the link to get this bundle is in the description box below. These are 5 prints, and they're all cut to half-yard cuts. So you can see this large-scale floral. It's super cute. Aside from the floral, there's like little tiny ladybugs in here that you may or may not be able to see. The ladybugs are a couple different sizes. This is from a collection called Flower Child by Maureen Cracknell, and this is by Art Gallery Fabrics is the manufacturer. If you've never used Art Gallery Fabrics before, give it a try. Very soft, light hand, which is great for even garments. A lot of times, people even use it to make some garments, especially for kids' clothes. It's light and airy, but it also doesn't make a really bulky quilt. It's really just nice overall to work with, okay? So these are the 5 different prints, and I'm just going to show you this like this. This one is really cool, actually. This is a striped print, which if you're not a quilter, you may not your eye may not gravitate towards these types of prints, but you can see that there is somewhat of a stripe of the florals here. And it's interesting because although it's directional in terms of the stripe, if you look closely, you'll see that the floral design itself on the top here is upright, and on the bottom here, it's upside down. So really, you can use it either way, and no matter which way you use the stripe, this side, or even better for, say, borders or something, or sashing on some quilt blocks, you can run it vertically, and it's both reading directionally top to bottom in this direction, okay? So I actually made a couple of projects using the fabrics from this collection to help give people some ideas, and I'll show you that in a second. But that's the 4th, and then this is the 5th print, okay? So I'm going to set these aside. Again, 2.5 yards total, really affordable, at a discounted price, and really great quality stuff, okay? I have actually, surprise, surprise, been working on some new free tutorials for y'all for YouTube, for my YouTube channel. And it's going to be, some of you maybe have found me because of my burrito pillowcase tutorial. This is going to be a travel size burrito pillowcase tutorial that I'm working on because my kids are going off to sleepaway camp next month. And so I'm making them a bunch of little things that they need. So this is my son's one. You can see travel size pillow. I use the smaller travel size pillow forms. They're also called toddler pillows. And I'll have all the information on the links to the forms and obviously the step-by-step instructions when the tutorial goes live later this week on the Crafty Gemini YouTube channel. But my son plays soccer, a little accent band, and then this is one of the fabrics that I designed years ago for one of my collections. It's black and white also. So that, but let me show you the ones that I made with this fabric bundle number 4 that we still have a few in stock. I'm not sure if we've sold out or not. I'm sure one of you will tell me. We have 8 left in stock. So if you like these fabrics together, the combination, definitely go ahead and grab it because like I said, once the half yard bundles are gone, we'll move on to the next one. So the next time you see me post it, it'll be half yard bundle fabric number 5. We'll be on to the 5th bundle, and they're fabrics that I picked to go together. This one happens to be from the same collection. They go really well. Obviously, they're a collection. But if you like these colors, look how cute that one looks. I did another one. Again, using 3 of the prints from that collection. So look how fun that striped print looks. I did a decent job fussy cutting here because I split the middle. Off the measurement that I needed from here to here for my strip for the pillowcase, I basically found the halfway point and made sure to align that halfway point down the center of one of the stripes. And that way I ended up with the same amount here and here. Same thing for the other side. And obviously that won't always work with every striped or directional print. This one just happened to work out based on the distance between each of the stripe, like how often the stripe repeats. So I just wanted to share that with y'all in case you were, looking for some ideas on things that you can make with this bundle, okay? Yes, Tamara says, I love it. I know, Tamara told me the other day that she went ahead and ordered the bundles because this color palette was right up her alley. So I can't wait to see what you make with it, Tamara. And Tamara was here a couple weeks ago at our retreat, and she lives in Chicago. She also picked up a new sewing machine. She says, that's my favorite one. Awesome. All right. Okay, let me see. So that was that on the fabric bundle because I see some people are ordering it. I'm getting some notifications, so that's on its way out. Here's another one that I made just to show y'all. If you picked up one of the previous bundles, I think this is a mix of the prints I had in the first bundle and maybe the second, I believe. And so you can see they go really well together, no matter what. Okay, so anyways, that's just a quick sneak peek and a heads up that I'm going to be posting a new free video tutorial on YouTube. I actually have 2 tutorials in the works, so I'm trying to pick up on my posting schedule of tutorials for YouTube this summer, okay? So next up, aside from that, Marilyn says, I'm all about the fussy cutting. Yeah, it can be a little tricky sometimes, but if you can make it work with the measurements of the project and, the rulers and what you're using, it definitely really adds like an extra little something, especially if it's like on a purse panel or something like that where you really want some focal point of the print to shine. Okay. Oh, Amanda says, I got my bundle. Awesome. Definitely post pictures and let me see what you end up making with this bundle, y'all. Okay, so let's go on and move on. The next thing I have here to talk about is going to be a new iron. So we have had 2 bag retreats, one in May and one in June. And I'm trying to think if that's right. That is right. They were like 3.5 weeks apart from each other. So we had 2 sewing retreats here in Florida. We've done 3 retreats this year already. Just a side note, if you are wanting to find out about the retreats that we have left for the rest of the year, make sure that you sign up for my email newsletter list. You can find it at craftygemini.com/newsletter. Or even just from the homepage of the site, you can add your email there, and that's where we send out all the information, okay? Well, at both of those retreats, I was looking, if y'all are familiar with my other T-fall iron that I use in a lot of the tutorials and the lives here, they no longer make that model. So I have been looking for another one that I can recommend to people because everybody's always asking me about that one, and you can no longer find it. I have like 3 of them. But I started doing some research and I found this one, and I thought for under 50 bucks, let me go ahead and order it and demo it, try it out. We took it to my retreat so that other people that sew and quilt can try it out. And if you went to one of my recent retreats in May or June, go ahead and let us know in the chat box if you got a chance to try this iron out and what you think. From my knowledge, several of the ladies that came to the retreats ended up buying this iron. We loved it, and I'll talk a little bit about it in a second. The first thing, hi Kathleen, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna grab this ironing board, which of course I need to change the cover on it. I take these little ironing boards to my retreats too, so you can imagine last time it was like 18 of us. pressing on all the different ironing boards and everything. So of course, this is one thing about this iron. You can see how hot it gets too, because I have some little burn spots here and everything on the cotton fabric. Now, for me, because the majority of the time, if I'm working on quilter bags, I'm working on 100% cotton fabrics, I need a super duper hot iron. Years ago, y'all have probably seen one of the videos I did on different irons I had, and I was really into using my cordless iron, this Panasonic cordless that I used years ago, maybe 6 years ago now. The only thing I didn't like about it was great because the cord didn't get in your way. What I don't like about it is as soon as you take those cordless irons off the base, they start to cool down, right? Because it's no longer getting the power to heat up. So I kind of dabble back and forth between a ton of different irons. And this one, for under 50 bucks, gets super duper hot. It does have automatic shut off, y'all. I know as quilters we hate that because then you have to wait for it to get to warm back up. But I'm going to tell you something. This iron gets so hot that I really have found that even with having to restart it again, it heats up so quickly, and it's still the residual heat from the first heat up, even if it does shut off, it's still hot. So I have found that for me, it wasn't a deal breaker, especially for an under $50 iron. The link for this, I have my Amazon affiliate link in the caption, and we put it in the video description box. So if you want to check it out and read up more on it, you can do that. But it is great. Nancy says, it's in my Amazon cart. Janelle says, I tried it and bought one. Janelle came to our May retreat. She says she tried it, and I think she was one of the ones that bought it right there at the retreat. She got on Amazon on her phone and ordered it up. Let's see. Who else is up here? Let me see. Oh, Tamara says that iron is so nice. We used it at the retreat. She was here at the last retreat. And it glided over the fabric, stayed hot, and was lightweight to use. This is one thing. Like some people like really heavy irons and some people like lightweight ones. This to me, I find, I like a heavy iron. But I don't want it to be super heavy that, you know, when you're pressing seams to the side or open, or you're working on a lot of tiny patchwork pieces. You know, we have to press a lot. I don't want it to be that heavy that my arm is going to get tired either. So I find that this one is like right in the middle. It's heavy enough that when you have it on fabrics or pressing seams, it adds that added weight that you want to help it lie flat. And then, of course, we will hit our seams with the clapper to help them stay flat and open, right? So the combo of these two really works, but it's not super heavy and it's not lightweight like the little, you know, like really like $20 irons that you feel like you have to kind of get on top of it like this to push down and press, especially if you're using the heat to kind of press some bulky seams down. I don't find that I have to really press down on it. The weight of the iron is enough, okay? Okay, so for the auto shut off, it says in the description that it shuts off after 8 minutes. So for me, I'm not really leaving it up, and that's auto shut off in the upright position. It has different times. I think like if it's on its side, it shuts off in less time. If it's down, no, if it's down like this, it shuts off in less time. If it's on its side, it shuts off like after a certain amount of time. But standing like this, it shuts off after 8 minutes. I have found that like I'm never really leaving it like this for 8 minutes, right? Because if you're cutting and you're doing stuff assembly line style, you're going to be just keeping it like this, and this thing gets hot. I brought out my temperature gun because I want to show y'all how hot this thing gets, okay, at the base in the sole plate. And so I'm constantly just back and forth, and I have found that even if the 8 minutes do pass, like at the retreat, we had it plugged up and it was just standing there. People walk right up to it, and almost immediately it's warm enough that you can even start pressing. So I have found that for all the different pros and cons, this is just a really great bang for your buck. So if you want to check it out, use my link, my Amazon affiliate link in the description box. Let's see. The cord, I know some people ask about this. It is coming out from the center. I know some people like it to come out on one side or the other. I don't know, but I'm not an ironing expert. I'm just telling y'all, you know, based on my experience, what we have used it for bag making, for pressing yardage before we cut, for pressing seams of patchwork and stuff. It has worked great. And then the cord on this, I'm not sure exactly how long, but I'm going to guesstimate because you can read it up on the page. 1, say 2, about 3, 4, 5. I want to say maybe 7 feet. Might be a little longer than that, something like that. But, I mean, if you have it set up at your workstation, it's fine. Now, one thing to note, when you use the link, if you click on it to go to the page, you're going to see a few different models. The one that I have is the 1800 watt one. So be careful. It might pull too much from your outlets if you have other stuff plugged in. But that's the one that I'm using, and that's what we're talking here based on the one that we have, okay? So someone's asking about the water level. Max says here, and you can kind of see it, it's clear. Y'all know me. I don't put water in here. We live on a property out here in rural, north central Florida. We're on a well. So what I do is I use a spray mist bottle if I'm wanting to create steam, or more commonly, I would use my starch to prep my fabric before I cut it to pieces. But let's do a quick sample. Look what I did for y'all. Boom. 2 little nuggets of fabric here that I rolled up. Oh my gosh, I need to change the ironing cover today. Luckily, I have more of this cute fabric. Let's do one with steam and one with starch with the iron. Okay, so my iron is on. I have it set to the hottest cotton setting, set to max, okay? Let me check the temperature now just so that y'all see. So this is the sole plate. Let me not burn myself on live camera. And I'm putting it right in the middle here. It's at 350 degrees, just about. That's not as hot as it gets. So we're going to let it stand here for a little bit and let it get hotter. Now, let's take out one of these bundles. So lots of wrinkles, lots and lots of wrinkles, okay? We're going to hit this with a little bit of water. And then I'm going to hit it with the iron. And I'm just, once I'm done misting this with a little bit of water. And we did get some of these spray mist bottles back in stock, y'all. I know some people wanted them because we were currently sold out, but we just got some back in. Okay, it's a light misting of water. And let's go ahead and check our iron again. Let me scoot this back. Because when I checked the temperature on this thing, it was like 400 and something. So it's at 366 now. 375 closer to the top. I saw it get as high as like 400. You see, look at that. It's like, can y'all see my thermometer gun from here? Look at this. I just put it here and you saw it go from 360 to 412 that quick. Can y'all see the screen there? So that's wild. I literally put it on here and it went 360, 375, 80, 90, something, something. Look at it. And that's how high it is. Right now it's reading at, if I put it there in the middle, 405. 401, 404. So over 400 degrees. And if you work with 100% cotton, you know that's how we like it. I don't want to use an iron that's like at 275 degrees. Like that's not hot enough for me. So this creates the steam. I know some of you will put water in here and steam it. You can do that. It says it has an XL, so an extra large water reservoir if you are going to put water in here. I don't. But when you hit the mist, like because the fabric is damp, when I hit it with the heat of a dry iron, it creates the steam that I want without having to deal with, you know, hard water buildup and stuff inside the water reservoir. But look at that. And that's without starch. I'm obsessed. And you should have seen us at the retreat. We would like prep fabrics and be like, oh, and people would wait for this iron to be open so they could use this one. I was like, yeah, I think over what? Let me think. 20, let's say 18. So like almost 30 people tried this iron over the past month. And this is my same iron here that we were using constantly. We haven't had any issues with it. And everybody was like, yeah, that's really nice. I like that iron. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try it with starch. All right. Another wrinkled up mess. Let's hit it with some starch. And I'll mention, because of obviously, since I used it for 2 retreats and for my personal use here when I'm filming my classes and tutorials, I have already had to clean the sole plate a couple times. And I have a video I did years ago on my YouTube channel. If you do a quick YouTube search for Crafty Gemini, how to clean an iron, it'll pop right up. And I use basically a magic eraser, water, and a towel. That's it. And I've cleaned it already, and you can see how it looks. There's a couple of like little bitty spots right outside the openings where the steam would come out, but look at that. And I'm telling you, we used it for 2 retreats, personal use, and almost 30 people used this iron on and off over the last month and a half, okay? So now with the starch, same thing, it creates that steam. I can see a little bit of the steam coming up from the heat of it. And see, I just pressed both of these. And I'm going to, right after I'm done pressing this one, I'm going to take the temperature underneath again. So you can see, I mean, and I haven't tested this yet, but to see how hot it stays. So let's try it and see. 326, not bad. Okay, so it's still upwards of 300 degrees even after I've pressed already. So this to me is not, I would not consider it like it's cooling down, right? Look at that. It's already 366, 370, 376, 380. Do you see how hot and quick it heats up? 400 degrees already. Like that's not long at all. So even with the auto shut off, I mean, it's seconds before, even as it starts to cool off, how high it can get. So look at that, 400 degrees, 412. And you know what I noticed? If I measure all the way up to the tip, you can't really see it there, but I want y'all to see, for some of us that need like the tip of the iron, if you're pressing collars, really tight seams, if you're sewing garments, I loved that it got super hot all the way to the tip. So you see where I'm measuring there, and it's still at almost 390 degrees. So that for me was really cool, because you know that it's not going to be cool just because it's not smack in the center of the sole plate. And I know that I can use that tip to get in there if I'm trying to press a seam allowance one way or the other, if I'm trying to press like the little trim on the pillow covers, you know, something like this. If I want to get the tip right underneath there so that I press under first and then over top, I can do that because I know that the tip of the iron is still also going to be super hot. Okay. All right. Oh, Susan says, I just ordered it. Well, let me know how y'all like it, because obviously we loved it. And I personally love it. And I have had a lot of irons, y'all, over the years. But anyway, this one was done with the starch. You can see it has a little bit of stiffness to it. And this one was just misted with water and steamed. And that's another quick and easy way to kind of pre-shrink your fabrics before you cut it without having to wash everything and dry it. Whenever you add heat and moisture, you're pre-shrinking it a little. And you know, these high quality prints, they're going to shrink maybe 1 to 3% is what the manufacturers typically publish as what's going to happen. All right. Diana's asking where she can order the iron. We'll go ahead and put the link in the chat box, but it's in the caption of the Facebook post or in the description video box, okay? All right, so that's that. So that's my new favorite iron, and it's a cute color too, y'all. It's teal, let's be real. But for under 50 bucks, and I think some people were saying that there was like an Amazon coupon. I don't know, because I don't sell it. So depending on where you, your account or whatever it is, or temporary, a current, you know, a current sale that they might be running, you may be able to even get another little bit of a discount, because I know when I shared about this week on my Facebook page, a couple of students did say that, okay? But anyway, 1800 watt is the one that I have, and my Amazon affiliate link is in there for you to check it out if you are in the market for a new budget iron that gets super duper hot. I'm going to go ahead and unplug this now before it trips my breaker and turns my camera off, which actually that one didn't do, and my other iron did. I think it's higher wattage than this one. I can't remember, but yeah. Okay, let's move on. Let me just make sure, popping into the chat here. All right. Kathleen says, I'm totally down with the cool color. It's my fave. Yes. And Connie says, I just ordered it. Great. So yeah. So I'm not going to put water in this one. But if somebody has put water in it, you can go ahead and I see somebody in here is asking about, Kathleen is asking about putting the water in here and being able to see it. Yeah. It's pretty clear. I mean, I can see a little bit of the steam buildup in here. Do you see that like the whiter area in here? I can see a couple bubbles there built up just from some moisture and steam. But there's the water. And the max thing is up here. So when it goes to the max, I see that there's two different colors of plastic here. So that line for me would be the max there if you were adding water to it. All right. Oh, great. So Janice says, yeah, she was able to get a $10 off coupon code that when she used my link that was in there. Okay. So now let's move on to the last thing I have on here, I think, and that is 3 different sewing organizer courses. We went ahead and put a bundle of classes on sale for y'all this week only. So if you're watching us live, check it out. See what the projects are all about and see if you want to join, because after this week, this bundle will be gone, like we've done with some other wallet ones in recent weeks and stuff like that. Okay. So the 3 organizer projects, and these are some of our more popular courses, and they're different sizes, different purposes. So I'm going to go through all of them. So the first one I have here is my Zip Away organizer. We did a little flash sale on this, I think a couple months ago or something. So now that we've lumped these together, I'll talk about each. So these are individual courses that you can sign up for, including PDF, supplemental instructions, and in the case of this one, there's a template for you to cut out to get this rounded corner shape as well. And you get step-by-step video lessons on how to make the project. They never expire, okay? Each one of these classes costs $37 by themselves if you were to sign up currently. And if you get all 3 of the classes, you can get them all for $67 total. So you save 44 bucks off the individual course price. So let me open these up and show you what we're working with. These are ones that I made. This is one of my old fabric collections. this print, I designed it by carving out a stamp and stamping it, and then we turned it into one of the fabric prints on my kinfolk collection years ago. So this backwards, this way. So it has 2 different pockets here and a wraparound zipper compartment. Like, that's how you set it up. So think about the techniques that you're going to be learning. You're going to learn how to install a zip around closure like that with a zipper. We use handbag zippers for this. We have a zippered pocket on the left and then just a slip-in pocket on the right. This one is made of clear vinyl. Really cool. I mean, if you are someone who journals or you want to make this for an artist who sketches or stationery stuff, you can put all your stuff in here and then little notebooks or even more stuff in here, other supplies and tools that you might need, okay? On this one, I went ahead and put in some sewing supplies because oftentimes we take these to retreats or to classes so that you can see what we're working with here. On this side, I have thread snips and I have, you know, fabric markers, a harem marker, some scoring tools and things like that. You can obviously see I have room to fit some other things in there. And then on this side, I wanted to show you, like, it's little, but it still fits a good bit because I have an entire 45mm rotary cutter in here and a whole bottle of glue with the extended taller tip. So you saw all this was in here in one little small condensed in zip away organizer, okay? So check that out. I think this one is super fun. I know a lot of people have used them before for, like, I think even for grandkids to put their little toys and little, like, Barbie clothes and little cars and things in there so that they can have it all together in one little organizer. Okay, so that's one of the projects. And again, if you only like 1 or 2 of these, you could sign up for the one class separately. Just know you would look under the name, so Zip Away Organizer, and the class itself, one individually, is $37, okay? The second project in this organizer bundle is the all rolled up tote. We've talked about these before. We've showed them in the past, and a lot of times people confuse it with a smaller project that has similar accordion style pockets on the inside called the Sew Together bag. Now, I have a video course on the Sew Together bag as well. These are made by 2 different designers. And so let me show you the inside. This is huge. And I have my Sew Together bags here because I want to visually show you the difference. This is almost 3 times the size, okay? Let me see if I can zoom out a little more. There. So they're not going to be used for the same purpose. Like, you could take this to a retreat and put your supplies in here. If you're looking for the pattern for this, we sell it in our online shop. If you're looking for a video course because you can't decipher the instructions and you need visual help in order to make it, I have a separate video course on it as well. Just look up Sew Together bag on my site, in my shop, and you'll find it. Okay, these are some of my tools that I use for my circular sock knitting machine. That's what I use this one for. But this is a little one, okay? The one that's included in this week's sale bundle is this huge one. Some of you, if you live in a smaller apartment, if you're traveling in an RV, if you maybe use your guest room in your house to sew and you need to keep all your stuff contained and slipped in a closet or underneath the bed, this would be awesome. I tell you what, when I first made these, as a professional with a ton of supplies and a studio where I taught classes, I tried to stuff all my supplies and materials in here, and I still had room. I put like 5 rotary cutters, rulers, and everything in this thing, and I still had room. So if you teach and you have, classes for multiple students, this would be great because you can store everything in here. I mean, you could put 4 rotary cutters in here, and it won't even fill up the first pocket, So you can see how much room there is left in there, just to give y'all an idea. The rulers, I mean, you can slip in, I'm trying to find my little guy here. If you have my 5-inch by 10-inch ruler, if you're working with 6-inch by 12-inch rulers, this one, we have it with a sleeve underneath, so you can lift up this sleeve and fit a bunch of rulers under here, flat, which at the same time as being storage is also creating kind of a more rigid bottom so that all the heavier items that you're putting in all these compartments can stand up, right, with the weight, and it'll be stiff instead of being quite a little bit floppier. We have elastic across the front here. You can put all kinds of different tools. You can put your like Choco liner in here. You can put glue sticks, all kinds of stuff. We can use that for. And then this one also comes, there's like bonus videos in the video course that show you how to attach the little lobster clasps and hardware to the inside here, because one of the other bonus videos is on how to make these little clear vinyl pouches that you clip in there. So they come in really handy. This is a whole nother one. These things are massive, okay? To make these little pouches. So these are great, and what I mostly would use them for when I fill this thing up and take it to teach really is like your plastic clips, you put them in there. So if you're going to a retreat, maybe where you're working on a ton of different projects, or you're wanting to bring a lot of supplies because you're not quite sure what you'll have time to make or whatever, you can fit, I mean, so many things in here. You can put like all your presser feet, right? All your marking tools, all your cutting tools. These are huge, okay? So again, this is not the same thing as a little sew together bag. This is a massive one called the All Rolled Up Tote, and it's designed by my friend Tammy, okay, in Canada. So anyway, that's how it comes. All these different zippered compartments. You have 4 huge zippered compartments here. Plus I show you how to make the little add-on clippy pouches that can clip onto the different hardware that we install on the sides, okay? A lot of techniques here though, I mean a ton. You use a template that you need to print out from the PDF to create the side panel here. That's accordion style. We're working with regular craft zippers. We're working with handbag zippers, with binding. We're quilting the exterior. There's a lot of stuff going on, so definitely for a more confident beginner, if you're ready to tackle something big like this, this would be a great one. Remember that when you sign up for any of my courses, whether it's an individual standalone class or a part of a sale bundle like this or a club, your access to the projects never expire. So you can watch these videos whenever you want. You can take it video by video, step by step, and just, work on a bigger project like this maybe over a couple weeks, over a couple weekends, over the summer, whatever it is, okay? All right. Yes, Liz says, I really love my large organizer. Oh, Jackie says, I have the all rolled up tote class already, but I haven't made it yet. Definitely post pictures when you get to making it, okay? What else do we have here in the chat? I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, Windless Original says, I really want to make that one a little hesitant because of the hand sewing. So your first one, I mean, you don't have to hand sew it. You could also machine stitch it if you wanted to. Just be okay with the stitching showing up on the outside. So like on the Sew Together bag, we machine stitched it on. And it's a similar technique because you're on the edge of the zipper here. So you could do that. You don't have to do it by hand. You can totally stitch that on by machine. If you don't want the stitching to show, just use a thread that matches the binding fabric, and you can decide if you want the stitching to show just on the binding or like through to where the zipper tape is. But yeah, you don't have to bind it by hand. All right. What else? Okay. Oh, Karen says, I have 2 of those 3 organizers. Definitely. I mean, they're worth it making it. Now, one of the third one, I should say, because again, we're talking about this bundle, a 3 organizer course bundle. We talked about the little guy, the zip away organizer. The second one is the all rolled up tote that's included. And the third one is one that we haven't really talked about in years. But I remembered it thanks to Tammy, who came all the way from Hawaii to attend our last bag retreat a couple weeks ago. Last month, not really. A couple weeks ago, she came and she says she brings it to every retreat. So this is my retreat in a bag organizer. This thing is massive. It has buckles. It has a long shoulder strap here, and it has the clasps that connect to the D-rings that are installed on here. So you can throw it over your shoulder. And when I open this thing up, you're going to see what all is in it. So when we open it up, and let me zoom out. I tried to change lenses today so I can try and show y'all the size of this thing, okay? It's huge, one. Part of the reason I designed it to be so big is so that you can tote your long and large rulers to a retreat, okay? So that's why I kind of called it a retreat in a bag, because it's like everything you need to take to your retreat in the bag. So we have 2 zippered compartments. This is a mesh one here, and we have handbag zippers. This one has 2 pulls here, so you could, let me see if I can slide this up. So you can put anything you need in here. On this side, my idea was, because it's mesh, you could put your fabric, your fat quarter bundles, your quilt blocks, or the yardage that you need to make, your projects at your retreat. You would just pack it full of fabrics. I mean, right here, just in this little corner, I have 2.5 yards of fabric. So imagine how much fabric you can put in here, okay? So large, strong zippers, large, strong mesh fabric for the pockets. Now, the other end, we'll talk about the middle last. The other end has more pockets. This is one full panel that we've partitioned off into 3 not see-through pockets, okay? So you have room in here to put, I mean, all kinds of stuff. Your shears, your rotary cutters, all kinds of little pouches with other little smaller notions inside and all that. So this one has 3 different pockets with zippers. And then in the middle, I basically designed this to have like these catching sleeves on the end so that instead of just sandwiching your rulers in there, they could actually have their own pocket. So notice I have in here a 6" by 24" ruler. Okay, so this whole long strip ruler fits in here. I have another 12.5" by 12.5" ruler, which if you have these, you know they're big and they're kind of annoying to tote around just in a big open tote bag because one, I'll tell you from experience, they scratch your arm when you're putting them in a big tote, they scrape you and they poke at you in the corners if you're carrying it. Ask me how I know. Or you cram it into a smaller bag and then you run the risk of snapping them, which can also happen. So in something like this, you don't have that issue, okay? Then another little bonus that I added in here was a little pressing mat, and this has that insulated fabric, a couple layers, and there's batting in there, and that's just like if you needed to press something really quick. It's not gonna serve as your actual ironing board, but if you need to press something out real quick, there's a little travel one that you could take with you and include it in here just so you have that available, okay? But again, big rulers, and this is just 2 rulers. You could put a bunch of other smaller ones in here too, okay? So that's that. And that way you can see all the pockets, all the compartments that you have here, and what you can put in this thing. So that is the retreat in a bag, and it's all bound and has, you know, wide webbing here so that you can tote it and take it to your retreats or classes with you, okay? And then, of course, because you can fit those big rulers in there, you know that you can put large blocks, you can, you know, fold up a partially finished quilt, and all that kind of stuff will also fit nicely in there. All right. Yes, Louise says yes, it does look great for storage. And Tamara was at the retreat, so she says Tammy's version was gorgeous. Tammy had hers there, and we were looking at it, and she had all her stuff packed in there, so it was really great. All right. It does. It looks complex, but it's doable if you go step by step, like Tamara says, because if you think about it, the outside we did a little bit of quilting, just some straight lines to kind of get everything situated and held down. But it's just like a big open quilt that just gets folded into thirds, really, okay? And then we're adding in the certain things. Of course, I'm giving you the measurements based on how I designed it and where you need to do what. But it's just like if you made a zippered pouch before, you could do this. This is just like one big flat zipper pouch. The other side is like one big zipper pouch that you just put 3 pulls on your zipper tape and you partition it off to make you 3 pockets. So it looks like a lot and you're working with larger pieces, but this is totally a confident beginner type of project. This is not an advanced project really by any means, okay? All right, so those are the 3 projects. The bundle, again, is on sale this week only, $67 instead of $111 because they're $37 each, the classes. And if you sign up and get all 3 of these, you can get it for $44 off the regular price. Okay, so if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. The link is in the description box below for you. Are we sold out of those bundles yet? Just to give a heads up. If we're not, this was the little fabric bundle. We probably, if we're not, we're close. Yeah. But we are going to be posting more. So if you like these half-yard bundles, we have 3 left, okay? So if you like these half-yard bundles that we've been putting together for y'all, you get 5 half-yard cuts for a total of 2.5 yards for a discounted price. Definitely check it out. When this one's gone, it's gone. And I've actually already been picking out which fabrics I'm going to choose for the next bundle. So if you like these, let us know in the description box below because we're on our 4th bundle. We're planning to sell out of this one too, and I'm looking forward to posting the 5th one. Again, on Facebook, I'll post it on Instagram, and I'll definitely send out an email. Remember that I have a new tutorial that's going to be going up live on my YouTube channel for a travel or toddler-sized burrito-style pillowcase, so we'll be working on that this week. So make sure that you're subscribed to my channel too, so you'll get a notification when that tutorial goes live. And that's going to be it for today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I will see y'all next week, and I hope that you find some time to work on one of your crafty projects this week.